That works.
Could just wait till you
Drink Celsius.
Oh, we going for it. Going for the gusto. What else can I find for sponsoring? Sponsoring shit. T-Mobile. They'll serve shit.
Feeling unenergized?
What is
Drink
it? Flavor?
Celsius. This is watermelon flavor. The only flavor I get, my boy.
Nice. Well, we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Mic'd Up with your boy Smitty, a.k.a. That's All You Need to Know, because that's all you're going to know. And Michelangelo.
Look at that. Learn my name.
Yeah, Angelo Mike's in the building.
Yay.
Woo. Hold on, there we go.
We should start labeling those buttons for you.
Nah, I don't need it. I figured it out.
I'm going to put gaffer tape on there for you.
I got it.
Also,
mistake.
We are going to be changing the set this weekend.
News to me. Told you start telling me stuff before we get on here. Now I'm surprised.
We're going to edit and change the set and hopefully be able to give you guys a way where we can put things up on the screen.
That'd be cool. Screen back here if y'all can.
Screen, I mean, I'm down to pull it up on the TV too also. If we can keep it, get the TV in frame. Yeah. But putting it on the screen instantly. Shout out to Rode. They're going to be sending us something that's going to help a lot. So, Rode microphones. Actually, guys, if you guys are interested in starting your own podcast and starting your own any type of social media content, to be honest with you, even if you're at a professional level, I use Rode mic for on set. We use them for lavaliers. We use them for streaming. We use them for... as you can see, we use them for the podcast, and they have like a start your podcast set.
Really?
It's $2,000.
Wow, that's a really good deal.
It's a good deal. I mean, if you think about it, if you like book 4 sessions at a studio, that's basically right there. You could just buy the set and just do it at your crib in the living room.
Yeah, have a whole season worth and episodes worth of podcasts and whatever else you need. You know?
There's a good chance I'm gonna look super white in this episode.
So, like your normal self?
Racist. Anyways, let's go into it. Daniel came in with the heat this week for once.
Every week I'm carrying this show. It's crazy. Anyway, let's start it off.
I'll let you hit us with the topics, man. What's topic number 1 and where we go?
Ladies and gentlemen, China and the U.S. have finally come to an agreement on the tariffs. Let me finish, man. You got to build it up and then break down the layers of it.
I'm just going to drink this Celsius.
Drink the Celsius. If you're feeling tired, recharge. That's all in the mic. Anyway, so it's a temporary agreement, 90 days, 3 months. I don't know about y'all, but I could do 3 months of like discounts because of what the tariffs was doing, which was crazy work.
But it's not even like, I think this is funny.
Go ahead.
You look up the numbers.
Yep.
So you have precise, because I don't remember. I was reading into it because, of course, we do manufacture clothing for people and brands, and I design a lot of stuff, and I've been in the manufacturing industry for a long time with the questions and everything. But so I think it's pretty funny because I think this is like your normal Trump situation where he kind of like elevates and makes things super, super stressful and super, super bad before they actually even get bad and get implemented. Then he kind of resolves the issue, but not fully. So there's still tariffs, which there never was tariffs in the first place, to my understanding. I don't believe we've ever had tariffs. If I'm wrong, correct me. Again, I've never had an issue or any additional. I was never told from any of my Chinese factories that tariffs were being implemented or I was paying a tariff fee. So, but from my understanding, it's not 145%, but there is still a tariff fee, 30% on China, 10% on the U.S. on China's side. So I don't know. I mean, you're reading it, so you tell me, is that 30% the increase that we pay, or is that 30% China pays to take stuff from U.S.?
So the key details of the agreement, tariff reductions. United States reduced tariffs on Chinese imports from 145% to 30%.
Okay, so it is. I mean, 30% is still pretty crazy.
I mean, 145 was insane.
Yeah.
This includes a 10% base tariff and additional 20% levy related to fentanyl concerns. Okay. China.
Fentanyl concerns.
Yeah.
That's a very big concern.
Yeah. Well, 20%, China lowered tariffs on U.S. goods from 125%, that's crazy, to 10%.
Yeah, but that like,
and it lifted a ban on Boeing aircraft deliveries. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a ban on.
oh yeah, you couldn't.
Wow.
Yeah, remember I told you my Son of May stuff was locked up at the border.
Yeah, but that's clothing. This is
No, it's Boeing. Like it doesn't matter. Like Boeing, most of the stuff that gets shipped is either by sea or by air. So like those Boeings, like
Boeing aircraft deliveries.
Period. Yeah, aircraft deliveries. So
I thought
that
it was
means
like Boeing parts.
No, I mean they're just empty planes and they take cases and cases and boxes. So that's how they do that. So if they banned it, again, also, I mean, you might tell me if I'm wrong, but nobody's shipping that way
to China.
Yeah. 10%, like they're like, oh, we're taking it out 10% tariff. Like, no, it's almost like the Mexican border. Nobody cares if we're going that way. Oh, they only care when you're coming this way. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody's shipping that way.
Yeah.
It's all about what comes to the U.S. because that's how everything is manufactured and resold.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Again, I think overall, the whole tariff thing's gonna blow over. I really think he's
like most things.
I just think it's a master plan behind it.
Where is he getting to? Why does he have to do all this to get to where he needs to get to? Which
you got to
making us
he's
apparently
a bully.
Better.
He's a
happier.
bully. He's a bully. That's how he gets it.
Bullying works apparently.
Bullying works if you're Trump, man. It worked in 2020. It's working right now. I think there was something else that got resolved that I was like, wow. Bullying works. I can't even put my thumb on it, but I remember I was seeing a headline and they were like, Trump finally did this and this. And I was like, Jesus Christ, bullying works.
Gulf of America. Going strong, man.
Man.
The announcement led to a positive reaction in global markets with stock indices in the U.S., Asia, and Europe experiencing gains and the U.S. dollar strengthening against major currencies.
Bullying works.
Business impact. The truce provides temporary relief for businesses affected by the tariffs, particularly in sectors like...
Oh, you can probably hear yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Manufacturing. Because your mouth's kind of like to the side, that's why.
Yeah. Manufacturing and agriculture. However, the 30% tariff rate remains higher than pre-trade war levels, and companies are cautious about long-term planning. All right, so...
I mean, 30% still, like, if it costs, I don't know, $12 for a hoodie, that $12 hoodie now is $15.
Yeah.
30%. But, I mean, they have ways around it.
There's always ways around it.
There's always ways around it. But the fine is crazy if you get caught for going around the corners, though.
You gotta hit that corner quick.
Hit that
Don't
corner
look quick.
quick.
Hit the corner quick. If you drop something, you dropped it. Just keep going.
So
keep going.
That's cool, though. All right. And then, so moving on from that one, we're not going to touch too much on that.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got to actually take my little pictures for my timestamps.
Yep. There you go.
So moving on from that one, you have
the
American Pope.
Yes.
This is the first ever American Pope, which, by the way, the memes have been killer. They have been knocking these memes out the park. Did you see the one where they put the cathedral with they put the cathedral with a McDonald's, an Exxon Mobil?
Man, listen.
They got my man throwing a rave over there. They got the Pope rave. I think that was in Brazil though. I think they just used him. But yeah, they've been going hard on these memes. Man,
the best one was because he graduated from Villanueva, the college here.
Yeah.
And I think it's in New York.
In Philly.
Yep. East Coast. So, the Knicks are in the playoffs right now and they're winning. So they was like, oh, we got a East Coast American Pope. Knicks in 5. We ready, baby. God's on our side. All this other stuff. And, we can't take nothing serious in America. So his name is he was Leo. What's the Roman numeral with the X and then the 1 5? I think it's 10, but then 5. That's 4. He can't be the 14th. There's more than.
Could be. They last like 100 years.
That'd be crazy if it was the 14th one. I'm sure it's. Y'all let us know in the comments what number Pope he is. But
hey, while you talk about, I'll look up what number Pope he is.
Okay, but his name was Robert Francis Prevost, who was elected on May 8th, 2025. He is the first American-born pontiff in the history of the Catholic Church, and also the first member of the Order of St. Augustine to assume the papacy.
First what?
The first Order of Saint Augustine to assume. I guess I don't. And again, I ain't trying to start that, but I think in the
so
Catholic,
Pope Francis, that's the guy. He's a 266 Pope.
So I was off by a couple.
That's not Pope Francis.
Pope. The new Pope is Leo.
So 267.
Born Robert Francis Prevost. Yeah.
He's Leo the 14th, actually. So
Leo the 14th.
So he's Leo the 14th. So that means he's 14 generations of Leo.
Okay.
Yeah, his name is Leo the 14th. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. And he was born in Chicago. Shout out. My mom and dad was born in Chicago in 1955. Why they get him so old? Eesh. Pope Leo the 14th is an alumnus of Villanova University, a Catholic institution affiliated with the Augustine Order. Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right.
He's what?
He's affiliated with the Augustine Order. So I guess I don't know Catholic background too strong, but I'm guessing when they say he's the first member of the Order of Saint Augustine, I guess he's the first to be a pope out of that branch, I guess.
Well, that would be the American branch.
Yeah.
It's the American branch of
the Saint of Augustine.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I will say it's probably a big dramatic thing on their side of the town because America is the first country whose government is not influenced by religion. Now, no. So let me explain this properly.
Okay, yeah.
When I say that, it means our laws are not based off religious beliefs or the Bible or the Torah. Like that's not where our laws come from. Now, our laws you're technically protected by from the laws with religion. Like we don't mix religion with government in America.
State and religion. Yeah,
state and religion. We don't mix it. Again, like say like for example, right? Like I don't know, a real Catholic, like a Catholic country, might ban something that the Bible says is wrong. In America, California has a one rule about that, and Texas has another rule about it, and Minnesota might have another rule about it, and the Bible might say something else. Now, of course, like your religious beliefs, we don't hold you accountable for it in America, but our laws are not determined by it. Our laws are determined by our government. It's not determined by religion.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's so big for us to even have an American pope in the first place, because we're like one of the first countries whose entire government wasn't built and laws wasn't built around religion, since we have so many mixed religions in this country. We're just a melting pot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta think about before, I always say this, and it's great genetically too. Like the best way to check your health is to understand your genetic background.
For sure.
Like people have longer eyelashes for a certain reason, thicker eyebrows for a certain reason, darker skin for a certain reason.
Why'd you point at me?
I was pointing at Leonardo behind you.
Darker skin?
Darker skin. He's got green skin for a reason.
Okay. See how long this keeps going. Keep it going, man.
But yeah, no, darker skin for certain reasons because, genetic makeup, but not only our ancestors, you know what I'm saying? Like certain parts of the world, are as humans and as we evolved in humans, we genetically, developed and mutated
for survival
in that exact country. People in Middle East have long eyelashes because it's a sandy area. Big thick eyebrows because there's sand and it's dust, and you have to protect your eyes, and then if there's no sun, you need to be able to survive under sun without getting sunburned. And there's a bunch of things that we've genetically built, but also before we were really establishing countries and governments, we were also separated by religion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Christianity was an entire country. Like it wasn't really a set country, but like that, all the Christians lived there and all the Catholics lived there and the Jews lived over here and Muslims over there. I mean, still even now in Israel, in one of the oldest cities in the world, what's it called? It starts with a J. I went there on my birthday. Jerusalem. You still have the four walls that symbolize the original separation, and it's like the Armenians, the Muslim or the Indians or the Muslims, and then you have the Christians and then the Jews, like, the four walls. And the Wailing Wall, and I think I've told you before, I took that birthright. But if you ever, I would tell people, if you ever don't believe in faith, don't believe in a higher power, or don't believe in God, or just a higher power in general, doesn't need to be God or Jesus or whatever the case is. Whoever you believe as a higher power, but if you don't believe in spiritual energy, go to the Wailing Wall. Go to the Wailing Walls, whichever side you want to go, but go to in Israel, and man, you can feel spiritual pressure like crazy at that wall. It's crazy. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I think that really adds to the fact that we have an American Pope. It's just like,
yeah, man, it's I mean, like I said, I don't have too much in Catholic background understanding of, the whole process of how it is, what exactly he does, what powers he has, if any, and decisions he makes.
I really don't know that actually.
Yeah, I don't.
What powers do the Pope have? Why don't you look them up?
Let me see.
Read us the powers of the Pope, because I don't even understand the point of the Pope.
What? How would I phrase this? What does the Pope do? Let me see. What does the Pope?
I guess what authority does the Pope have? Because I'm not really too sure what the Pope does. I mean, my dad's side of the family was half Catholic and half Christian, so they both.
That had to be interesting, didn't it? The Pope is the Bishop of Rome and the spiritual leader of the worldwide Catholic Church, which includes over 8 billion members. His role includes both religious and administrative responsibilities, and his authority is extensive within the Church. Here's a breakdown. Spiritual leadership. Supreme Pastor. The Pope is considered the successor to Saint Peter, whom Catholics believe was appointed by Jesus as the first leader of the church. Oh, okay. Teacher of the faith.
So basically, are they now? This is just on some anime things.
Oh,
are
boy.
they? Yeah. Are they like constantly searching for the reincarnation of Saint Peter? Is that how they're?
The Pope is considered the successor of Saint Peter, whom Catholics believe was who was appointed by Jesus as the first leader of the church. I don't know if it's reincarnated. I think they're just okay. So Peter was the first, and he passed it to someone, and then so on and so on.
So when then you're a pope, if you're a pope, you're kind of like, I wish you had a don. When a don's Christian, so if you're a pope, you technically, if you're trying to become a pope, you're studying under the teachings of Saint Peter's.
Yeah, and I guess who they feel. That's why they vote. That's why all the other cardinals, when the pope passes,
there's a bunch of people.
And they feel who would be the best to
represent St. Peter's.
Yeah. And who would be, I guess, the closest or understands the message and teach him in that. He acts as a unifying figure for Catholics around the world and often meditates on global issues of peace, justice, and human rights.
So he meditates on it, but he doesn't have any comment on it?
Oh, mediates. I'm sorry.
Oh, mediates. I was about to say.
Yeah.
No, meditating is like... Okay, I'm emphasizing with the world. Mediate. Okay, so he does that mediation.
Yeah. And now his administrative authority is head of the Vatican. The Pope is the head of the Vatican City State, the smallest independent country in the world. I didn't know that. That's cool.
I told you, like I said, that's one of the original countries where like religion is the government.
Appoints bishops and cardinals. He selects bishops and cardinals globally, shaping the future leadership of the church. Yeah.
Oh, so I mean, it's a government within. It's still a full-on running government. It's not like Christianity. I'm not. You know what? I'm not against it because it's not like Christianity where like anybody could just pop up and start a church.
Yeah. Oversees the Curia. The Roman Curia is the administrative body through which the Pope governs the church. It includes departments like Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, the Secretariat of State, and others. Okay. Diplomatic and global influence. Heads of sovereign state. As the monarch of Vatican City, he has diplomatic relations with over 180 countries. Okay, so yeah, he's doing legal stuff.
He's got weight. There's weight in his word.
Yeah, that makes sense because
so
I see
some
presidents
stuff is going crazy.
Yeah,
presidents. He's like, hey man, you guys gotta. We're still the son of God type of thing.
Influential voice.
Yep.
Though he has no political power outside the church, the Pope can influence international debates on poverty, climate change, war, migration, and religious freedom.
He can mediate. He can talk. Okay.
He comes in the room with a lot of swagger. Well, they're not. Yeah,
they're not gonna like. They're not forcing their hand with religion.
Right.
Still a free world now. now like before, but
he carries some respect.
He carries respect,
title.
and if he, I mean, I'm guessing if you like get his attention, I mean, you're technically going crazy or doing something wrong.
Yeah,
maybe.
when you got to bring the world peacekeeper in.
Yeah, when the
guys,
when the Pope's got to show up and go, hey, how about we all have a seat?
Right.
Let's get some matzo ball soup. So let's all that to say before we move on. Can I just take your let's share some intake, some personal, which I want to start doing on some other episodes, and we'll start talking about certain things. Me and you will talk about this after. But what's your personal take on religion? Personally, how do you practice it, believe it, and what is your exact background on it?
Well, I grew up Christian-based belief background. But as you get older in life, you
meet people, you learn things, you grow things. So now what is your belief and take on it? Because maybe if somebody's listening to us, maybe they can, agree with us and go, oh, that's how I can properly word it, and think about how I believe in it too.
I believe that that religion is, how would I word this? My belief that religion was, I don't want to say man-made, but maybe man-controlled or like manipulated.
Like a form of separation.
Yeah.
Like, I think religion, so I will say with this, I think religion is our earliest form of segregation.
Yeah.
Even before, because I mean, even before races, right? Because you had no idea who the hell was on the other continent back in the day.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The earliest form of segregation was religion and belief.
I would say it even go before that. I mean, caveman eras. I believe it naturally instinctual. Human beings are gathered to survive, and that's what they would say. Like the strongest survive. To where the man that would beat the dinosaur, the one that was strong and can survive, people would gravitate to that, whoever it was and whatever. And then maybe another alpha male or person that would come and just wouldn't agree. And that was like that's our natural, I think, base as human beings, to not necessarily be separated, but their conflict can cause separation, Oh, well, I'm over here with the people and I trust and believe, and this is what this and that. So, it's weird. I feel like people come together with their people or who they most relate to.
Yeah.
And then, I don't believe, so I'm over here with these people. I think we come together and we also separate naturally, even before religion was introduced. But religion, I believe, started maybe as something like a higher spiritual understanding. But if you have a different meaning of or experience of a religion thing or a higher power, and then I do, that already we're on two different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
It's your belief, which is fine. It's my belief, which is fine.
Yeah.
But this is what I think, and if we don't agree with it, or if there's some type of weird connect, we've already separated. And now you have your tribe over there believing something. I have my tribe over here believing something. We may have experienced the same thing, but this is how I see it. That's how you see it. Now we're separated. And if you got something over there that I feel that I need, and you got some, now and this is higher experience is telling me this, I feel like naturally people just do that. And if you can manipulate something, then if
you can control a bigger amount of people through something like that,
then I mean, on the other side of the world, they call God Allah. Over here, they call God something. It's all a higher power. It's all a higher experience, and all these other man-made, manipulated books or things that kind of all have the same message in a different way, or
in different
formats. But and then these books are thousands and thousands of years old, so there's no telling what it is. So for me, religion is what I think we're all built with, that intuition of what feels right and what doesn't. You may not be able to explain it, but you ever just wake up and feel good?
So you're saying for you think religion is what actually gives you strength.
Religion is what
no matter what it is.
Yes, what you have faith in, and gives you confidence, gives you understanding, gives you peace of mind, makes you feel good, and you can understand and feel welcomed in it. You just feel there's no
or
stress.
Or belong to a community.
Exactly.
Belong to somebody, which, okay.
That to me is what religion is, and faith, and keeping it to where you just know it connects with you, and it makes you feel a higher being, person, understanding, whatever it is. But that's what connects with you. That's what religion is.
And that's how you feel nowadays.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. So, like, for those of you who don't know, Dan already knows, obviously. But so I'm technically born Jewish. I'm a true Jew because my mother's a Jew. My mother...
That wasn't against your heritage. That's just
my father's side was Christian and Catholic. His dad was Christian, but he also practiced Christianity, and his mother was Catholic. I was baptized in both. I had a bar mitzvah at 13. My mother also started practicing Buddhism before I was even born. So, but my grandfather was a Holocaust survivor, so being Jewish in my family, and if you were to ask me, I'd identify as a Jew. When it comes to religion, just because that's the religion. But I've kind of like, all right, if I'm gonna choose one, I'd choose one. But all that to say is, I agree with what you said personally. I grew up in almost all of them, I think, except for the Muslim religion and Indians and the Indian religion. I've learned, all of them. I went to the Bible schools. I've done the Torah. I've read the Torah. I've hung out with the Buddhists. And I watched them chant. Yeah, you sit there and they chant for hours. They pray for hours. They create energies. The Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. You've heard my mom. And it's all about vibrations. And one thing I've taken from it is that it doesn't matter what you believe in, what you identify as long as you have faith in a higher power, act accordingly, are a good person, and have ground rules and morals. And you don't need a religion, but as long as you have faith in God, God will show you that He exists. And the universe, I would say in general, the universe will show you that it's here for you. And the blessings will show. I'm a strong believer in equivalent exchange, and the oldest form of alchemy, one of the rules. I truly believe that as long as you believe in a higher power, that higher power will guide you through whatever you need it to be. So
for sure,
it doesn't need to be, and if you want to call it Jesus, if you want to call it God, if you want to call it Allah, whatever you want to call it, like you just said, like I think the Aztecs, they believed in the sun god, and like you said, and I've learned that all of them are kind of the same exact beliefs, just different names and different formats of the stories. Just slightly tweaks here and there. Some of them are just talking about earlier, points in time. Some of them are talking later points in time. But at the end of the day, it all adds up and goes back to the universe.
Yeah,
goes back to a higher power, and that's what I believe is like. You don't, as long God will show you, or anybody, any type of higher power will show you. Will reciprocate the energy that you give, and just at the end of the day, just be a good person.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the universal law. You get in what you put out. If you're doing bad, you get bad. If you're doing good, you get good.
Exactly.
And it's just how much bad you're going to get. It's how much bad you're going to get. How much good you're going to give is how much good you're going to get. So that's just my beliefs. I really believe you get what you give, whether good or bad, and how.
Well, that goes through my rule of life is equivalent exchange, right? It's real simple. Of course, they applied it in Full Metal Alchemist is one of the most popular ways to apply it, but it's the earliest rule. It's the oldest rule of alchemy. In order for you to receive anything of equal or greater value, it goes, in order for you to receive anything, you must give something of equal or greater value. So, if you want a piece of gold, you need to convert 3 pounds worth of coal, and it's science in it, but like it's the same belief. And I also agree with the saying that they say if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Yes.
So, like I said, whether it's no matter what it is, if believing is believing, and having a ground and something to stand on, is very important.
Having a base of faith in something positive or rewarding or helpful to you, that's the key. And that's what keeps you Because life's going to be hard. You're going to go through ups and downs. But if you got that foundation that you can always come back to on your tough days and all that, that's what helps you push through. And you take a breath and you go, yep, this is just a test, or this is just a moment, or this is my faith that I'm going through, or whatever it is. You're able to connect. Because the world's huge, man. World's bigger than where we're at.
So, the universe is huge.
Huge.
Humongous.
So you got to understand people come from different backgrounds, different places
and actually,
in the world.
Believe it or not, the world in the universe is humongous, but it's so small at the same time.
Tiny.
And that person from the other side of the world might have the exact same background as you, just in a different zip code and in a different language.
Literally.
All that to say, let's move on to the next topic, which is a crazy topic to go right after this one.
Yeah.
The Diddy case.
We don't need God for this
Yo,
one.
boy, Diddy. Batman, bad boy. Can't stop. Won't stop. My boy, your boy Diddy. The case has started.
So the Diddy trial. Boy, it's day 2 now.
Oh, it's day 2 on it now.
Yeah. Cassie hit the stand today.
Whew.
She's pregnant too.
By who?
Her husband.
Oh, that's right. She's happy now. Man, look, man.
I don't need to look at anything else.
I've been around them before. That's
good for her.
Yeah, she's happy now.
Congrats for her. I'm happy for her. Listen, man.
Yeah. Cassie hit the stand?
Pregnant.
Now,
And,
did she hit the stand to speak on things that they are asking her because she got called to the stand, or did she hit the stand to actually like
testify against him? Yeah,
she wants to see him. She wants to see him in flames.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the video.
I mean, well, that first off, that's one of 1,000 incidents. So yes, that video, they got to get that video. But man,
look,
I mean,
she's not playing the game. She's free now.
That was the rumor for the longest. Like everybody knew Cassie and him, and he was very abusive to her. And
look, man, all I'm gonna say.
So did she validate anything that's in? Because there's some crazy things, right? He said that now, from my understanding, I think there's allegations of he was forcing her to have intercourse with people that he was paying. He was having people urinate on her. He was obviously abusing her and beating her physically, which that was already validated. And he was just like, and then he also stole all of her money. Stole all of her music money.
So
and then he basically forced her. He put her in a position where she couldn't live without him financially.
Yeah. So basically, for anybody that don't know, this is not a murder case trial or nothing. It is a federal sex trafficking trial.
Well, no, it's a RICO charge. He got a RICO charge by himself.
Yeah, no, it's a.
Do you know what the RICO charge is? That's what they gave mafia. Like mafia industries, like RICO charges are given to industries of multiple people at once
doing crimes because it's a
conglomerate. It's like a whole group of people, like 50 people. This is the RICO charge. You guys are all going to be held accountable for certain things. They gave this one man a RICO charge.
Well, you got like 4 names.
Yeah, it was 7 actually.
So yeah, it says during the federal sex trafficking trial, Sean Diddy Combs. Cassie Ventura delivered detailed testimony about the alleged abuse she endured throughout their 11-year relationship. Dang. Her statements are essential to the prosecution case, which accuses Combs of sex trafficking, racketeering, and related offenses.
Racketeering is a crazy word to give one person.
Freak-offs. Freak-offs is what she talked about. Cassie described being forced into multi-day drug-fueled group sex events with hired escorts, which Combs referred to as freak-offs, she stated. These encounters were filmed and used as leverage to control her, making her feel like she was fulfilling a job rather than participating in a consensual relationship. Physical and emotional abuse. Cassie recounted instances of physical violence, including being beaten for minor actions such as making the wrong facial expression. She also testified about being dragged by her hair and forced to continue sexual acts despite illness. Yeesh. Control over personal life. She alleged that Combs exercised control over various aspects of her life, including her career, appearance, and daily interactions. He would send assistants or security personnel if she did not respond to his messages promptly.
Oh, man.
Use the threats of
That's a
intimidation.
different type of toxic.
Controlled, my boy. Cassie claimed that Combs used threats, including the release of explicit videos, to maintain control over her. She also mentioned that the presence of firearms and other intimidation tactics. And surveillance footage. Prosecutors presented surveillance footage from 2016 showing Combs physically assaulting Cassie in a hotel hallway, which corroborated parts of her
you
testimony.
got to think about man, that boy was moving in silence. 11 years, and they only got one security camera.
I mean, he probably wiped all that stuff when they went to their home. You saw when they raided his house.
Let me just let you understand what the how serious racketeering.
Yeah.
Is the meaning of racketeering is a set of illegal activities aimed at commercial profit that may be disguised as legitimate business deals. Racketeering is defined by coordinated effort by multiple people to repeatedly earn a profit, typically by fraud, extortion, bribery, threats, violence, or illegal means. Multiple people. They're giving one man a racketeering charge. Ah.
I'm trying to tell you, man. They got Puff Daddy, Puffy, Sean Combs, Diddy.
Sean Love. Remember he changed name to
Love.
Diddy.
They got them all, man.
Oh, man.
They got them all in there. Puff.
So she went and testified yesterday.
Pregnant, by the way. Pregnant on the stand. And they said, the defense was saying that they think that she did that on there. You know, they called her up for that to be more sympathetic to the jury. And, oh, my God, this woman who's pregnant now. And, you know,
how many days
crying.
is this trial supposed to go?
Apparently, I think they got it to about 3 months or something like that. It's supposed to go 3 months. It's only on day 2.
3 months.
Let's see.
No, the trial's gonna go for like 5 to 6 days, and then they'll either recess or they're gonna. It depends on how long.
Let's see. What is the expected timeline?
Typically in the movies, this trial will go about 2 weeks, and some point in time, one of the jurors ends up dying. That's what happens.
Can't touch a juror. Oh, you mean like from natural causes?
Natural causes or murder.
No, that's an actual mafia back in.
That's what I'm saying. That's like in the movies. That's what happens in these movies when there's a RICO charge and they're trying to take down Frank Sinatra's freaking crew or whatever old boy's name from The Godfather. Like that's what happens. Next thing you know, like no, or not even the jurors. Jurors' families come up missing and all kinds of things like to make sure that the guy walks away. Like
yeah, but
there's threats. There's wired money and hush. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, but I don't think you catch a jury body in this case. Someone's already looking.
I mean, the guy's got a RICO charge by himself.
The federal sex trafficking trial of Sean Diddy Combs commenced with the selection on May 5th, 2025, and Manhattan. Opening statements and witness testimonies began on May 12th. The trial is anticipated to span approximately 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah, I told you.
What? No, you said
so. That's 8 to 10 weeks. Is about 2 months. Okay.
Projecting its conclusion between early to mid-July. Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think he's going to. Well, and that's another thing. If he's found guilty on all the charges, he's going to jail for life. I don't think he's going to get jail for life. He's probably going to get charged because his defense also, they opened saying, yes, he has domestic violence, but he's not guilty of what they're trying to make him.
Well, here's my thing. I think we were talking about this too. There's a lot of charges on there that he has that go both ways.
Yeah.
So like if you're paying somebody for sexual favors, that's now prostitution or escorting. And if it's illegal, then both of you guys are going to jail because you're not supposed to be selling that ass anyways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But also everything's in the state of Manhattan is how they're doing it. So it's based off the laws of the state of Manhattan. Now, I'm eager to see. I don't know. I haven't done much research, but so I know for a fact, for example, I don't know if you know this, but say you happen to ship an illegal substance or say you travel with an illegal substance, every state that you pass has the right to like
Add their
criminalize you. No, so like say you like, you know, you fly from California to like New Mexico with like a bag full of illegal substance and you get caught. Every state that you passed has the right to criminalize you. So you might be found innocent in New Mexico, but Nevada could cook you, Arizona could cook you, and California could come after you, and you have to fight all 4 of these states.
That's insane.
Right. So now what I'm thinking, and now I'm like, this is on a federal level, and that's how it works. If it's on a federal level, like, is he like dealing with every state? Is he going to be dealing with this forever? Is he going to be going to jail? He's in jail right now, right?
He is in jail. They denied his bail. Sean Diddy Combs is currently on trial in the Manhattan federal court, facing multiple serious charges stemming from allegations of operating a criminal enterprise that exploited women over nearly 2 decades. The charges include racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or
what about all the celebrities? Isn't this like what's
transportation?
An Einstein thing all over again? Like, aren't they like trying to get all the celebrities that were part of it too? Wasn't it like forcing like? Wasn't there other celebrity names that were like a part of it during the freak-offs?
Apparently. Well, so okay.
There's
so additional allegations: physical abuse. Okay, witnessing, including former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, have testified about instances of physical violence, including beatings and intimidation with firearms. Drug use testimonies have described the use of substance like Molly and ecstasy during the alleged freak-offs. Control and manipulation. Ventura and other witnesses.
Use of substance or like use of substance to drug people with it during the freak-offs?
Use of substances like Molly and ecstasy during the alleged freak-offs.
Was he using? Was it Bill Cosby style?
Control and manipulation. Ventura and other witnesses have detailed how Combs allegedly exerted control over various aspects of their lives, including their careers, appearances, and daily interactions. So Combs has pleaded not guilty to all the charges, remain in custody in Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. If convicted, he faces a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years with the possibility of life imprisonment.
Are they going to bring up who killed Biggie?
Well, apparently she said something on the stand in regards to one night his security guard came in and said Suge Knight was at a diner near where he was, and they got the gun and got in the car and drove off. And she was like, don't do nothing crazy. But she said when they came back, she didn't ask about it. He didn't know. Obviously, Suge's not dead.
You know, Lil' Kim's like on record saying that
Diddy got big. I mean, look, man.
Yep. Yeah,
Look,
Lil' Kim's
man.
on record saying that he got Biggie killed and Suge Knight got Tupac, and there was like a whole thing because you know those guys own all the musical rights.
Yeah,
they own all the rights, all the residuals. They break off the family, but like they got them down to dead to rights with the
deals, man.
With both those guys, Biggie and Tupac. Suge and Diddy, Biggie and Tupac died. Suge and Diddy retained everything. They own all the masters, right? Yeah. So, you know, there's always a conspiracy theory behind the '90s on that one. My favorite thing is when Diddy's lawyer said, "We bought all that at Costco," and Costco said, "We don't sell baby oil." Costco.
Anybody that got that much baby oil did something. I don't know what he's guilty of. He might not be guilty of anything in there, but he guilty of something. You don't get $1,000. You don't get 1,000 bottles of baby oil. If you get what you need that much, you doing something you ain't supposed to be doing.
Let me ask you, what happens if he gets off free?
I feel sorry for these victims, man. But you know what? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe this is his humble moment where he walks away and goes, I was in a RICO case by myself.
Yeah, but it also, like I said, it always comes down to like, are they really victims if they just needed the money and accepted it?
Yes and no. I think it's a case-by-case situation. There's for sure people that are like, I just need $10,000. And he was like, well, you can do this for it and then do it. And then they get it and they go like, oh, well, I felt bad and he could have just gave it to me. No, he told you what it was. You said okay to it.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't. Oh, and that was another thing she had brought up. I saw that like after these freak-offs and he would make her pay those people. So his hands were clean. It looked like she was the one.
Now is she incriminating herself?
I mean, yes and no.
Yeah,
Like,
well, she's saying she was being forced.
yeah,
so.
like she's like, yeah, I paid him, but he told me to, and now people are with logic. It was like, well, this is smart of him to be like, see, I didn't do it, she did it, she wanted it.
Hey,
but if you're controlling and
be a little
manipulating,
freaky.
hey man, she said she loved him, she wanted to please him and be,
He did change her life. He picked her up from the streets. She had nothing when he picked her up. Changed her life, gave her a music career, everything.
Yeah, but at what price though?
Yeah.
At what price?
It sounded sweet. I bet you it sounded sweet when she had nothing to her name,
she was
though.
19 when they started dating.
So. It sounded sweet when she had nothing to her name, though. Well, that's. I guess we'll touch base on it as it goes. We'll touch. We're not gonna turn this podcast into a Diddy Case podcast. But we're not true life Diddy touch somebody, but
true life touch somebody.
But they're gonna be making documentaries about this for the next 10 years.
Yeah, there's like 5 out already. But after this trial is over, whatever the verdict is, they're gonna
be cooking this for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna milk it too much. We will touch base on it for viral.
Yeah,
reasons. Viral purposes only. All that to say, moving on to the next topic. You said UCLA's figured out a bald situation. Aren't you happy about that?
What do you mean this is a choice? Anyway. Yeah, so UCLA apparently has
I saw it.
Made it cheaper to get your hair back. A scientist there, or some student found a breakthrough apparently for baldness.
Yeah.
So you can save trips to go to Turkey.
Yeah, well, you don't get to not have to do surgery for it, not have the hair transplant. Which what they do is they take the hair from the back of your head and they put it on the top of your head. Mm-hmm. But also with a hair transplant, if baldness is genetically in your DNA,
mm-hmm.
you just start rebalding all over again.
Yeah, but
it's just in your, like, you got a couple more years, or some people have a lot of years. Sometimes it works forever for some people, but if it's genetically in your DNA, you're gonna rebald again. You have to get the surgery again.
Yeah, you have
to get the implant every 3 to 5 years, 10 years.
But you got time to save up,
Yeah, I mean it's not that expensive anymore. It's only like $5,000.
Okay.
$5,000 to $10,000, but yeah, apparently I was reading that they have a thing. It's not FDA approved, but trial where
they got to go through
where you could take pills and it's actually literally recreating the gene that your body needs to grow hair
in the dead head area spots or whatever. But yeah, so I'm like, well, that's pretty cool in case you don't have to go all the way to Turkey and take those trips and do all that. But
Mexico now, I think Mexico up the street. Yeah. $5,000.
That makes sense. Yeah. But
man. Baja Fest is around the corner.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, I see what you did there.
But yeah, man. So I'll let you guys know if how that goes, and if you see my hair growing naturally, it's a choice.
I would say, like, thank God I don't have the problem, but if I was balding and I was offered money to try it, I'd do it.
Yeah, well,
are you gonna do the clinical trials of the UCLA? You want to wait till it's completely FDA approved?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though?
What's that?
You have just as much risks during the clinical trials as you do after FDA approved.
I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know.
So at least you get paid for it.
I'm good, because then like other stuff could start happening.
That's the worst case. You grow a third nipple like Chandler from Friends.
No, you could have like ED. You could shrink. You can get a third ball.
More kids.
Don't want that. Don't need that. That's what I'm saying.
Or more testosterone. You get a third testicle. You would never have ED.
I'm beating you up in mid conversation. Are you kidding me? All that.
You're just on roid rage.
Yeah, just ready to go. Are you just? We're still talking road. I just listen. Clinical trial means we are trying this and hoping for the best. We've studied most of it. We feel that this is good. But just in case you get a third eye, here's $5,000 for you, buddy.
You know what the crazy thing about baldness is? They came and tried on monkeys.
We the goddamn test animals.
Ain't no monkey going bald.
That's wild. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're the test dummies. I'm good, man. I can't, mess around. Birds. And that's just you now? Yeah, it's just normal. Just give him a sec. Turkey. It's mid-conversation. Nah, I'm all right. You develop Tourette's? Yeah, that's how that happens.
That's how it happens. Clinical trial.
Clinical trial, man. But he got 5K. Don't love it. But yeah, man. So, like I said, I'm not going to do it. But if my hair grows back naturally, if I decide to grow it out, it's natural. It's a choice. So, yeah.
You know what else actually helps too?
Mm-hmm.
Which I've read? Just actually letting your hair grow out. Yeah. Stimulates like your hair and lets like the other things come back to life, and they're like, oh look, that guy's growing. Maybe I should start growing.
That's how that works.
I mean, it's a proven fact.
So what did they do to piss each other off to make the other one not grow? I'm just curious how that conversation was going.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, it's a thing. Like, you just let your hair grow out. Eventually, the bald spot starts growing hair too.
Yeah, maybe in different places of the world where you eat.
No, it's true. Something, but like then you also have to go with, like, how long until your hair starts growing. And then you have to deal with like, a bad hairline becomes more distinct when your hair is longer.
Yes.
So you go through a lot of stuff, but that's why a lot of people let their hair grow. They're balding and stuff.
Like I said,
that's why those guys have like the side of their hair, and they have the little comb over in the 90s, man, like the George Costanza.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try that one day.
Yeah, grow it out.
Little comb over.
Your dad had your exact same hairline, and he had an afro.
He had a full head of hair, yeah.
Full head of hair with the same exact hairline, though.
Mm-hmm.
Same exact hairline, full head. Like, you don't have, like, you're not really balding. You're just, your hairline is just.
It's a choice.
You're just Vegeta style.
It's a choice.
That's all. All right, well, that's all our topics. We're moving on to Tings That I Buy and Smitty's Corner all at the same time. So, what do you got over here? Oh. So, Things That I Buy, I'm just going to update you guys. I fell for the trap pretty badly. Like all of my Labubus. I got my little Labubus. So Labubus are going crazy. Things I Buy is also a cool topic. $1.6 billion company within 1 week.
I'm sick of this. I'm making the next Beanie Baby Furby.
I'm making my Ting the Peta's getting a little thing. I'm making one for sure. Now the tariffs are down. Anyways,
Labubus.
This is the monsters, macaronis, the macaroons, and then Have a Seat was the first one. I don't have any of the Have a Seats because I don't know. This is the new one.
They need to have a
Big Energy. Version 3, the Big Energy. Now, believe it or not, the mystery of this one is worth like $400.
Whoa.
I'm lucky I got the pink one. Now, I will say, these guys are pretty cool. The Big Energy is, I kind of like the new shape, and they're a little thick, and they have a little bit more hair. They're a little furry.
Right.
Better quality. But I will say, it kind of gets a little touchy because they painted their little toenails.
Okay.
It's a little girly. A little bit more girly than I needed it to be.
What's wrong with it being girly?
Nothing wrong being girly. It's just like it's more girly now.
So what's wrong with that?
I don't know.
You was walking around with these?
Yeah, put these
and
on.
now that it makes you... Now the painted toenails is what makes you feel it's more feminine energy?
Yeah.
As a grown man walking around with a Beanie Baby on him?
Not a Beanie Baby, it's a Labubu.
I want you to say that again.
Labubu.
It's not a Beanie Baby. It's a Labubu.
Labubu. I'm not going to be opening the Big Energy one. Which, by the way, this is so crazy. The resale on this Big Energy is almost like $100. We sell my boba and Tings, or Tings Cafe, sorry, new name, for $75 if you guys want them. Or $80, actually. $80. They're very expensive wholesale-wise. These are $45 at Tings Cafe. Retails are like $25, but it's almost impossible to get.
What are Furbies going for nowadays? Or Beanie Babies?
Beanie Babies took a bad crash.
Yeah.
Worst investment of all time. These things aren't going up like that, though. They're not like Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies were actually, no, I saw on Golden's auction that some Beanie Babies actually still hold their value pretty well.
Hard.
Yeah, they still hold their value. But Beanie Babies had this thing that you'll buy it, like the Princess one. It was like a special release, like the Jordans and stuff. And they were like the first one before Jordans where you could only buy it like in Chicago. And like special Beanie Babies, and those Beanie Babies were worth like $2,000, $3,000, and how older the baby is, and Some of them still hold a value, but that's different. There's just a craze, big fan craze, big collectible. I mean, they're cute.
Like
I brought this one, the Coca-Cola one, so we can open it.
Nice Coca-Cola.
So this one's crazy too because people love this one, but all the other ones kind of give you like a 6-piece, and then the 7th one is the mystery one, so you have 6 chances.
Gotcha.
This one only's got 2 options. It's a Coca-Cola collab, and then the 3rd one's a mystery one. Right. I don't know what this one's going. We don't really say. Oh, and it doesn't even come in a mystery bag. You automatically see when you open the box. That's crazy. There you go.
What is that? A car freshener?
Happy Factor. Oh. No, this is just a tag.
To put in your car.
Yeah, you could. You want it?
No.
Anyways, Coca-Cola Labubu. What is this? Is this just a... Wow, this is a big piece of like moisturizer thingy. 2 bags of it. That's a lot.
Moisturizer?
Yeah, it's like, to absorb the moisture to keep it fresh.
Oh.
Well, I don't know why they need stuff that big. I don't even put that many. Anyways, I got this guy. It's pretty cute.
Look like a demonic polar bear.
You know what's been going crazy?
What?
Which I'm gonna do for my birthday.
What?
I'm gonna get little question t-shirts for Labubus. People have been dressing up to Labubus.
Cool, man.
I got a cool activation for my birthday too. You get a chance to get a fake one or a real one. Can't tell me this isn't cool though.
I can, but I'm not gonna crush your soul and spirit like that.
I could do without it.
Labubu.
This was
what the hell is a Labubu? What does that even mean?
So the guy made this. So these things are 10 years old actually.
Yeah, I could tell.
The guy made the characters 10 years ago. He made a character about like they're just like the monsters. It's called the Monsters. So there's a bunch of different characters. And they just started getting popular within like a year ago because of the Blackpink. But they're just like Hello Kitty. It's just a kids book. And then they make the little figures of it for them. And, now they just blew up.
I'm going to name mine the SMITTYS.
Yeah.
I'm going to make one.
You're not going to get yourself a Labubu? Maybe I'll get you a Labubu for the next episode as a gift. You can
don't want it. I'm okay. Thank you, though.
I really feel like you're hating.
No. You don't.
4 Labubus. This is too much.
Was that like $100 right there?
$200.
$200 for 3?
4. I have another one. I didn't want to.
So it's $50 each.
He's been through the ringer. Not to mention my Disney ones actually. Yeah, I'm like $300 into Labubu.
Disney Labubus?
Yeah. The Pop Marts, the little Disney Friends ones. The little Chip and Dale. Remember I opened one on an episode.
Chip and Dale. Rescue Ranger,
Imagine how dirty this guy can get. I'm gonna have to get a little case for him.
There's nothing about these that are appealing to me. Did he even make a show, a book, or?
I don't know actually. I think they did do a show about it. But this is a Chinese thing. This is like a Chinese company. They're just barely blowing up in the U.S. They've been selling this in China for years.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes, but
who knows?
Excuse me. Yeah, no. Labubus, man.
Labubus.
Don't like the name. Don't like the...
You're going to be hating when these things are worth something.
They apparently already are.
They are. Some people are storing the cases for the future.
Yeah, well, they're the new... I know a broke down Fergie.
Broke down Furby.
Sorry.
Furby was hard. That was a hard crash show. They only lasted like 6 months.
Yeah, but it was...
They were also very, very creepy. Those things were scared the living hell out of me. These things are like cute creepy.
They have vampire wolf fangs, teeth, demonic face, smiles, stuck, creepy. You have a you.
I was my tooth gem.
Got
it at an event.
Why didn't you just leave it there?
Leave what? The tooth gem?
Yeah.
It was free.
You feel good? I'm sorry. I feel like I broke that down. You just got really sad. It looks great. Is that a rainbow one?
It's not a rainbow one. It's like it's a multicolored star. It's a multicolored star. It was the best one they had. It was that or one stupid stone. No. You know what? Move on. Smitty's corner. Got it at a bad event too. Got at the John Reed event in that West Hollywood, man.
Oh man.
Where that guy bought me the water.
Oh, this is getting worse and worse.
I give you guys a quick story.
No, we don't want it.
I'll give him a quick story. I went to the John Reed event. Shout out Johnny. Great PR event. It was good. He did a great event on it, but it was at the John Reed at West Hollywood. I'm gonna put my Labubus with you. And I was in line. I was like, oh, it's a gym. I'll do my workout here today. After the event. So I went to the event. It was a pool party. It was the launch for the pool. I got in line behind a young gentleman. Actually, I think he was probably older than me. An older gentleman, let's just say. To buy a water. And the gentleman in front of me paid for the water. And turned back to me and said, enjoy your workout, baby girl.
He called you baby girl?
Called me baby girl. I didn't work out. I just went home.
Was he leaving?
No, he was going to work out too.
Oh. He called you baby girl?
I think I accidentally.
Did you have a Labubu on you?
I didn't have a Labubu on me. I think I accidentally got hit on, I guess you would say, or
There wasn't an accident about that.
I accidentally got committed to something
How
I
do you
didn't
feel?
want. How did I feel? I felt pretty I felt pretty honored. I never had no girl buy me no water.
I've never had no man buy me no water, but I wouldn't know that feeling. But I'm glad it made you feel good.
I've never had a girl pay for me. You know, I've paid for shots and drinks for girls before. I've bought women things. I've never had a girl, take care of me like that.
I'm gonna explain something from my point of view of what this is looking like. You're not mad about it.
I'm not mad about it.
You're happy.
I got to say, it wasn't a cheap water. It was a $7 bottle of water.
Okay. So
could have done without the baby girl.
I'm gonna need you to take your hand off your hip while you're talking about this. You were called a baby girl. You were paid for. You didn't have a little boo boo on you, but you like Labubus.
I mean, my things.
And now you got rainbow grilled tooth in your mouth.
I was sending the wrong image, wasn't I?
You're sending the wrong image now. You're doing it literally right now.
I'm just saying.
But was the water good though?
Oh, I definitely drank the water. I just didn't stay for the workout.
What kind of water? What kind of brand was it?
I think it was the John Reed brand.
You might owe him a date.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. That's why I left. I felt like I at least owed him a conversation.
Yeah.
Or my Instagram, and at most my number. I definitely felt this must be what women feel like.
Yeah.
This is what women feel like when they go to the gym. This got to be what women feel like when they walk in. And let me tell you,
what were you even wearing? You had the short shorts on, didn't you?
No, I was.
Was your thigh out?
No, I chose the wrong outfit actually. I wore gray sweatpants.
No.
And a cut off t-shirt because it was like a pool event. It was
baby girl in it.
Yeah.
You was baby girl in it.
Yeah, it was unique situation to say the least. And I didn't last more than 5 minutes in that gym.
Oh.
As soon as I walked in there, I could just feel the eyes and the hunger in the air and the tension.
You was new booty.
I felt like a piece of meat. I was like, this got to be what women feel like when they walk to the gym. Oh, I don't know. But I took my water and I skedaddled out of there.
Skedaddle's a good word.
But damn sure I kept that water, though.
I mean, listen, it's free at the end of the day. Well, nothing's ever free, so.
I'm just
hopefully
saying,
you don't see him again.
I pulled up. All I know is I pulled up to the register after the guy stepped away. And I said...
Yeah, how much the water was?
$7. Because I was sick that I was about to pay for it. And the lady was like, oh, here, it's already paid for. And that guy covered it for you. And I looked over and he said, enjoy your workout, baby girl. And he kept it. He didn't say nothing else and just went on his merry way. Yeah. Anyway, Smitty's Corner, so we can wrap up the show.
Yeah, man. Smitty's Corner. This is...
We'll start the Smitty's Corner real quick. Jordan's going to start doing guest appearances on NBC to be
Michael Jordan, the original GOAT that started it all.
I don't think he's been doing too much. I think he's just going to go on there just to talk shit.
He'll probably, but is he going to be consistent with it?
No, it's gonna be guests, of course, just like Tom Brady style.
No, Tom Brady
I'm surprised they could
did
afford
it every
him.
week. Tom Brady did the whole season. Every Sunday he was doing a game, broadcasting a game.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna. That's like 16 weeks. I don't think they're gonna do it every week for Jordan. But he would be like guests, not every week, maybe not every episode, but I guess I'm surprised they can even
Commentating here
afford
and
Jordan.
there. I'm surprised Jordan wanted to do it.
Yeah, but I'm guessing he just wanted to talk smack. Probably has to. Has to do something to get rid of all the bad publicity his son's created.
I don't think people care about his son too much.
Nah,
Like that.
I mean Pippen's
His-
wife just went back on a talk show, and there's a whole problem. Apparently, the reason why they broke up was his cocaine addiction.
I'd stay out of the media at that point if I'm
There's-
Jordan. I'm old. Who cares?
His son is just.
Let him be, man. If I'm 60-something years old or whatever, my son's a grown man making his own choice. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It is what it is. I'm coming here to talk ball. I'm gonna talk ball. If I'm not, I'm not. He's a billionaire.
He's a billionaire, so I'm
Jordan's a
surprised he's doing it.
billionaire. I
But
don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure he's gonna talk a lot of smack. It's Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, he probably wants some stuff off his chest about how this future NBA or how this NBA is going. Speaking of, the NBA playoffs are going, and we got the New York Pope Knicks up 3-1 on
Just
the
give us
Boston
an update on
Celtics.
that. Give us a playoff update.
Yeah, the Knicks are up 3-1. They're going to
By the time this
Boston.
airs, they're probably already.
Well, tomorrow. They play tomorrow.
So they're
by the
probably
time
already
this
won.
air, they should. They're up 3-1. They
Yeah.
play tomorrow. And they're going to try to close it out in Boston.
Yeah, well, Tatum just tore
Jason
his Achilles.
Tatum tore his Achilles. Yeah. Get better soon. Well wishes. All good
Memphis
things.
is just running through the Warriors like they're
Minnesota.
Minnesota Timberwolves
Yeah.
is running
Baby
through.
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan is alleged son.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, Jordan's alleged son by social media.
Yeah. But also Steph Curry isn't playing.
I
So
don't think that would have made a difference, to be honest with you.
maybe. They got
Nah.
one game.
No.
They got one game.
Nope. I've been betting on him. That man hasn't been doing nothing. I think he was injured even before. I think this was just the last
Yeah, his
straw.
thumb was. But
Yeah, I think he was just no.
Yeah, no.
No,
It's not a-
nope.
So
nope.
Minnesota should wrap it up tomorrow as well, and
They're
then it's
hard.
looking like Indiana, the Pacers, random beat the Cavs, the number 1 team in the East.
Did they
today.
sweep him completely?
No, 4-1,
Oh, it's done now.
done. They beat them
Ooh,
today
I was
in
rooting-
Cleveland.
I was rooting for the Cavs.
I know
Donovan Mitchell was cooking.
he had like 40 today, and he
40
had like
every
he was
game.
averaging 40.
He's
and
averaged
still
40.
lost.
Just to lose is crazy.
Yeah, against the Pacers, which it's a randomly good team. They
When
just
the Pacers ever were good before that? What's his name, right?
Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they even win with Reggie Miller? No, because of Jordan, right?
No, because Kobe.
Cause
Well, yeah, 'cause of Jordan too,
Jordan is like the reason why a lot of legends don't have rings.
Yeah, but Miller
Charles
got
Barkley.
to once Jordan retired, he got to the finals, but that's when Shaq and Kobe was dominating the West. So they ran up against them and they lost in 6 games. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Pacers, shout out them. They're in the
Who's
Eastern
on the
Conference.
Pacers that we should know about?
Miles Turner, he's the center. You hear how I'm talking about these people?
Okay, so they have a good overall team.
They do, but their famous their superstar is Halliburton, Tyler Halliburton.
But
Shoot.
I saw he's not even doing like putting up 30 points a game.
No, but he's a good all around player. He's almost averaging like a triple double. He's like 6
10.
rebounds, 7 assists, 15 to 20 points.
So they have a great squad.
Yeah.
They don't have a superstar. Okay. And then, well, that's like the San Antonio Spurs when they had their run.
Nah. Tim.
Sorry, we had to do that real quick because one of the cameras died. Oh,
But
can
we're
you
back.
move that actually? You've already covered my face one episode.
It's definitely Dave or Jesse.
All right, back. So what we were saying was
Indiana Pacers have
nobody. A good team.
just a
San
good
Antonio
team
Spurs.
with
Well, San Antonio
Teller.
Spurs were they were
Man. Tim Duncan could get 40 anytime.
Was he really
Ginobili.
getting like that for real?
Yes,
I
he
don't
just
remember
was
that. I
boring.
remember them being good game, like a good team.
they're a great team, but
They're
they
overall good. Like man, they were just dangerous.
they were a great
Yeah,
team. 'cause
anytime,
they
but like,
worked
but like,
well
there,
together.
what I'm saying is that there wasn't a single player on San Antonio that was like you knew. Okay, this guy's gonna go for 30. Like each one of them just stepped up whenever they needed to.
That's my point. Either one of them could.
Yeah.
Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and
Well, Manu
Duncan.
Ginobili actually, Manu Ginobili was
He was like
was
that, bro.
that guy.
So they all could drop 30. It just was whoever was on that night, but they played
But the
within
Pacers
that
don't have
system.
don't have that same system.
I would say so. They're
Yeah.
just because they're not
That's
exciting.
what I'm saying.
And no, because not anybody could though. Tyler Halliburton is the only one that could like really probably go 30, but he doesn't need to
I've
because
never seen him go for 30.
Yeah, it's not often, but he can do it. He just plays real ugly too in a weird way, but it works. It works.
Okay, and then so other than them,
Shai Gil-Alexander, OKC and Denver just played. OKC won Game 5. They're up 3-2. They got to go back to Denver. Can they close it out? I don't know. The series has been closer than I anticipated, so I still feel like Denver might pull it out, but we'll see.
who do you have?
I'm calling it now. Knicks and Timberwolves in the finals.
That's who you want.
New York Knicks, Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards versus Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. And I think the Knicks might win it. I think the Knicks can get the NBA
I told you before.
championship.
I think Anthony Edwards, if he makes it to the finals, he's gonna win it, and he's gonna be the face of the NBA. And mark my words, saying it here now, he's gonna have a situation pull up, and he's gonna become a Nike athlete.
You don't think Adidas got enough pull to?
Well, no. When has there ever been a not Nike athlete as the face of the NBA? Even when Kobe,
Steph Curry.
no, he wasn't the face of the NBA. It was LeBron the whole time still. Curry actually would have been way bigger if he did sign with Nike.
I don't know because Curry's pretty huge, but
Pretty huge, but he's not LeBron. Bless you.
thank you. LeBron is LeBron.
He wasn't KD.
KD's not KD. KD's
At one point in time, KD was world known.
yeah because he was winning with Steph Curry.
But even before when Curry was winning all those championships, KD was still world known, way more known than Curry. It's just favoritism, and also Nike's just a monopoly with the NBA. But yeah, I think they're gonna give him the Kobe treatment. Think about it. Even when Kobe was becoming the face of the NBA, he was with Adidas, and they put an end to that real quick and sent him over to Nike. So
I mean, we'll see. I'm a fan of him either way. I'd like to see him stay in Adidas. Oh, side note, Reebok is on its way back. Or trying to be. Shaq bought it, and he's a shareholder in it. And he brought Allen Iverson on board, and they're trying to recruit all these different athletes in different sports and like bring out a new shoe and trend and all this other stuff. And his whole thing is like back in the day, Reebok had two big athletes signed, and it was, of course, Allen Iverson and himself. And, so I'm interested to see how that turns out.
Reebok was never anything, ain't never gonna be nothing.
That ain't true.
I like the
Reebok was
questions.
dope.
No, I like the questions. Obviously, I like the questions. I like even the Shaqnosis. Those things were classics. They're good shoes, but it just isn't Nike, and not even Adidas.
I
But
think they're going to try to go.
I think Reebok does great for the pocket that they're in.
Well, it's Shaq. He's trying to get it out the pocket. And I think a lot of...
Shaq's more of a let's just sell let's just sell 1 million shoes for $100. Or remember he had the Shaqs at one time.
Yeah, but I think he's
You think he's gonna try to get a little bit more in the cool factor?
because I mean you got the millennials, us, and even the generation before, and then now we're in this weird trend where like we're the throwback retro cool stuff,
Well, all the throwback retro now is new fashion.
Yeah,
20 years ago. So
now I mean it could be a perfect timing. Could be a perfect timing, but I'm interested. They bring out some more Iversons or something. I'll get a pair.
yeah, I mean I have a pair already. They did a Margiano questions collab. I have both of them.
There you go.
All right, so then I actually don't have the white pair. I could use the white pair. So what else we have for playoffs? That's it, right?
Yeah, so we got the Pacers.
Who the
and
Wolves
probably
got to
the
beat
Knicks.
to make it to either Denver
the Denver OKC, and I
OKC.
prefer them to go. I feel like they could beat Denver because
Who's
they
up
beat them
right now?
last year. OKC. But I feel like OKC would be a better match because they're young too and they're exciting. And one of the Shai Gill on OKC, the star player, his cousin is on Minnesota. So that could be a cool little interesting matchup. But
Could be good.
we're getting close to the finals, so I'm of course I'm rooting for Anthony Edwards to get there and win a championship this young and like start his Jordan era and NBA thing. But we'll see, man.
We'll see.
We'll see. It's a team sport.
We'll follow up with it next week and let you guys. By next week, we'll know who's in the Eastern and the Western finals, right?
We should, yes, definitely.
So there it is, and then we'll know. We're hoping for the finals to be the Timberwolves versus the Knicks.
That'll be cool. I'd like to see the New York Knicks in the NBA finals. I haven't seen one in my lifetime, actually. The Knicks haven't made the finals in our lifetime.
Patrick Ewing, well, that was before us.
Never made it to the finals.
Patrick Ewing never knows Jordan.
Eastern Conference, but never to the
When
finals.
was the last time they won the championship? They've won a championship before?
Yeah, back in like the 70s, bro. I think the 70s,
Let me
60s.
see.
Phil Jackson was on the team.
New York Knicks. I don't think they ever won.
Oh, they did win. They did win.
1970 and 1973. How, the way their fan base is, you would think they have as many championships as. Well, I guess that's New York for you, right?
That's New York. It's all year, every year.
You would think they have as many championships as the Yankees or as the Boston or LA or anybody. I mean, everybody has more championships than two.
Yeah. But
Well,
they're
not the Hornets or the Bobcats or
We don't know what
or
they
the
are.
Pelicans. They don't have none of those guys.
Yeah.
They have 2 NBA championships. I would have never thought of that.
Back in the 70s. But hey, maybe this is a new era now, finally.
They're
But
renowned for their historic significance in sports entertainment. What is at the end of the day, Madison Square Garden? You know what? You know what it is that make the Knicks so known in sports?
what's that?
All the cool stuff that's happened in sports happens when you beat the Knicks.
Yeah, the Madison
Jordan's
Square
last
Garden.
shot at
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden. Everything that happens legendary in sports happens on
at the
their
Garden.
turf at the Garden.
Everybody
That's the
puts
problem.
on a
Everybody
show.
puts up 60. Everybody puts up 80. Kobe did a 60-point game, 80-point game. All this kind of stuff happens at Man. Damn. So technically, the Knicks are like the most glorified losers. I'm going to get a lot of hate.
You're definitely gonna. Yeah, well, be careful what you say, man.
Yeah, well, don't hunt me down just yet.
Dead ass B.
Dead ass B. All right. Till next time, that's it for Mic'd Up this week. This is actually the third episode of this week releasing. We have 3 episodes. We have one just released today, another one coming tomorrow, and this one's on Thursday at 7 p.m. Every week at 7 p.m.
Not 8. Not 6.
7 p.m. Might
Every
eventually go higher
Thursday?
on Thursday. Every Thursday. It might be Thursday at like 3 p.m. to be honest with you. I'm playing with it.
Figuring out the algorithm.
We'll figure out our algorithm. What's best for us and what's best for podcasts. I don't know what time Logan drops his. I gotta look at some of these guys. Dude, that's why I'm playing with it today, this week. So until next week.
Till next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Stay.
is there anything you need to plug in?
Nah, not this week.
No. My birthday's in 2 weeks, so I'll be plugging in some stuff
There you go.
and releasing.
May
Thanks.
31st, Memorial Day.
No. What the
well.
fuck? Well,
Something went out. Oh, that one.
that's the battery. And that's it. That's a sign. All right, guys.
Deuces. And Milo Ginobili and Tony Parker could all drop 20 to 30.
I just
lost that
camera right there.
Marker.
Right. Hold on. I'm going to plug that camera up real quick.